Hi everyone, so different location. I'm in my living room. I wanted to do this video ever since I seen Destiny Sidwell do it. I've seen a few YouTubers do it since as well. It's the random number generator picks how long I read for each day. I thought I would do this for a week, so it's actually a Monday, my day off work actually today, and I think I'll carry on through till Sunday. I do timer method 24-hour readathons a lot, so I thought this would be a bit of a fun spin on what I usually do and make every day a bit more of a challenge. I do have work this week though, so I will have some days where I'm going to put in less hours in the generator just to be realistic, but today I actually think I might do 10. I think that's pretty doable. It's nearly 10 a.m. now. I don't have much I need to do today actually. I'm going into the city to get my nails done, but that's really it, so I can just really read for the rest of the day. I'm currently reading Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. This is a historical fiction book. It's an intergenerational book. I think it follows like 3 generations of the one Korean family, and it starts at the early 1900s when Japan has colonized Korea. A lot of Koreans are moving to Japan, so there's lots of tensions between the two nations. It's also really interesting to see how women were treated. So the premise of this is this daughter of like these boarding house keepers gets pregnant outside of marriage. This Christian minister decides to marry her and take her to Japan and to be his wife, so she wouldn't be shamed for having her baby outside of marriage. And so far I really like it. It's very heavy though, a lot of heavy topics, a lot about poverty, a lot about issues that women went through at this time, a lot of political tensions between Japan and Korea, a lot of history. At this point, Korea is still one nation rather than just North and South Korea. I'm a Christian myself, so reading about Christian characters is quite nice too. So it's good but heavy stuff, so probably not the most bingeable book, but I think I will dip in and out of this book anyway throughout the week. I'm just about to start part 2, and then I definitely think I'll listen to a lot of audiobooks this week because I'll need to do other things but read definitely today as well. So I'm currently if you've been watching my videos, I started Throne of the Fallen by Karen Maniscalco like back at Christmas time, and I haven't picked it back up. I think any time I've like listened to something, it's been a podcast lately rather than an audiobook. Kind of fell off listening to audiobooks. Maybe I'll try and get back into that this week. But this is a spin-off to the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and this is about Prince Envy, and I think I've got like 7 hours left of that book. But look what happened to me this morning. So I think I need to buy a new set of headphones when I go into the city today. Anyway, that's my reading plans. I better just pick how many hours I'm gonna read for today. Okay, I've just pressed record now. Hopefully you can see this. I put in 1 to 10 because I think 10 hours is challenging but still possible on a day off. But I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, 8. That's okay, I can do that. 8 is good. 8 is challenging, but I still think doable on a day off. I still have to read all day though, so I better get cracking. I also think I might do some cafe hopping as well, so I might do some reading in the city as well. Hi everyone, so it's day 2. So I finished my 8 hours yesterday and I actually did find it quite challenging. Like I had to read all day. Basically when I set the timer, I had to kind of let it go the whole day. The only time I didn't read was when I was in my nail appointment. So I listened to Throne of the Fallen like during dinner and stuff like that, and read Pachinko for the rest of the time right up to bedtime. So 8 hours was challenging, but I got it done without going to bed too late. I think out of those 8 hours, I'd say like maybe 2.5 of them were Throne of the Fallen. I'm just about to start part 4, I think. I don't think I explained this book at the beginning of this video, but it's a spin-off of the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and this is about Prince Envy. I would call it a romantasy rather than a dark fantasy. I suppose it kind of is dark romantasy. The original trilogy is about Prince Wrath, this is about Prince Envy, but this is a standalone. I think the author's planning one for each brother, and I think Gluttony is coming out in October. I think is that Throne of Secrets, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, the original trilogy was based on like a murder mystery with romance. This one's based on a game with a romance. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Camilla, the female main character. We got some answers about her, which is good. Just about to start part 4, so I think I've only got like 4 hours left to listen to, so I probably will finish that this video. Depends on how many hours I get. And then obviously for the rest of the day I read Pachinko. So this book is divided into, oh, the sun. Sorry, I'm not in the best spot. This is divided into 3 books, and I think it spans 4 generations of the one family, I think. But I'm on book 2 at the moment. I say I read a lot of book 2 yesterday. I'm really loving this book. It's very good. The only thing is it's hard to binge because it's quite emotional. The whole story is about how Japan colonized Korea and this family and how it affected them. There's a lot about women's roles at that time. There's a lot about poverty and a lot about war. So it's very heavy. There's a lot of heavy stuff happening all the time. So it's a little bit hard to like binge it. I was reading only a few chapters a day before this video, so binging it was quite emotional. I'm past the halfway point now, but this has made me tear up like 3 times. It's great. I really like the writing style. It's very straightforward. You can tell Min Jin Lee is very to the point. But yeah, it's really good historical fiction. However, a bit heavy. Not the best to be reading when you're trying to binge read for a video. I think I'll definitely read it today. I don't know about the rest of the week. I might change it up, maybe to something a little bit more lighthearted, but I am enjoying this. So today actually is a work day, so I've actually just finished work, so I obviously can't put as many hours on the wheel today. It is just after 5 p.m. now. I could do 5 hours max. I would say that would take me right up to bedtime. If I did do 5 hours, I would have to like listen to Throne of the Fallen while I like get ready for bed and have dinner and all those things, but any less I can probably take some breaks. 3, 4, 5 hours would probably be challenging enough. 1 and 2, I'd probably do that in a day anyway. So oh, the sun just came out. If you're wondering why I'm not doing the wheel on my phone, is because I film on my phone. So I'm doing this on my laptop. Okay, I'm trying the screen recording thing again. I hope it's working. So I just did 1 to 5 this time because that's all I can definitely realistically manage in an evening. So let's go for it. Okay, 2. That's okay, we can do that. Okay, 2 hours, I can do that pretty easily. I usually read like an hour before I go to bed anyway, but I think I'll do these 2 hours like now, like right now after work, and just binge some Pachinko for a little bit. But 2 hours is doable, so that's good. Hello, so it's day 3. I read about 70 pages of Pachinko yesterday, I believe. I did an hour after work, kind of had a bit of a break, and then I did the other hour right up to bedtime. I felt like I read all evening, but it was kind of like leisurely. So yesterday wasn't too much of a challenge, to be honest. But I got to around the 350 page mark. This is a chunky book. It's very chunky. It's well over 500 pages. Not the best book to binge, but I actually really enjoyed the section that I read yesterday far more than the previous section. Not that it wasn't better, it was just a little bit easier to consume because this is more about Sunja's children are now grown adults and things in Japan are like economically a lot better. It's slightly more slice of life and less survival. So I don't know, did it just make it a bit easier to read? So I think I am going to enjoy the latter half of this book, but I know it's going to tear me to shreds as well. I've got a few things to do today, so I think today actually might be a audiobook evening. Really depends on how many hours I get. Apologies if you can hear construction noise. I've got my laptop here again. I'll start screen recording. Okay, we have the 2 from yesterday. So 1 to 5 again, it's around 4:30 now. Realistically, I'm going to start at 5 till about 10. That's the max I can do. I really have to go to bed after that. I will go again I don't really mind what I get today, to be honest. Oh. Okay. 1. Okay, I do that anyway. Not really much of a challenge. I actually usually read for about an hour or two before bed anyway, so it's okay. I did 8 hours in one day. Again, so it's day 4, I think. Yes, it's Thursday today, another work day, but again, I'm just done, so I can fill my evening with reading if the wheel allows it. I'm glad I only had the hour yesterday because I did have a lot to do. I had to meal prep and food shop and do laundry, and I had a charity bag collection. Lots of like home admin I had to do, so I could have listened to an audiobook. It's nice to just not listen to anything for a while as well. But I did do my hour of pachinko, so I did about, I think, 20 minutes after work and then the other 40 just before bed. So I think I just about got 40 pages read. I think I got a clip of it, but I just started book 3 in this book. I feel like the pace of this book is getting a little bit quicker. Sunjash seems to be the main character of this book overall, but it's mostly focusing on her children now, and at this stage where I'm at on page 380, they are full-grown adults. And pachinko, actually, the game, is very much prevalent in their lives at the moment. So I'm unsure about the pacing of this last book. I'm wondering, is it going to be a little bit quicker? I'm not quite sure if it's going to be ramped up a little bit. Anyway, I'm still on pachinko just because the last 2 days have been very easy. I had 1 hour and 2 hours. I'm on day 4 of this challenge and I haven't finished a book yet, but I don't mind. I'm really enjoying this anyway. But I still definitely want that dopamine hit of finishing something. I wouldn't mind getting a few hours today just so I could like get through, maybe finish it, get through most of it. I don't think the goals of these videos should be to finish as many books as possible. It should just be to have fun and enjoy your reading, which I am doing. But yeah, I am kind of ready to have a different tone of book. I feel like it might be nice to read something a little bit more lighthearted. This is very much a slice of reality, so rather than escapism, but still, it's great. It is really, really excellent. I think I've got about, I do math, I've got about 150 pages left roughly. Really depends how much hours I get this evening. I've had it very chill for 2 days. So yeah, actually I'm pretty free this evening. I think the only thing I need to do is make dinner. So I definitely could afford to have quite a few hours. Trying the screen recording again. We've got my 1 hour from yesterday. I'm going to keep it the same, so 1 to 5. It is a work day, so 5 is the max I can do, as I've mentioned, so I'll just go for it. But yeah, I really don't mind what I get today, actually. Okay, 3. 3 is good. Like 3 is like reading a lot of my work evening. It's still reading a lot without being too challenging, so decent. A little bit more than the last 2 days. Will I get pachinko read in 3 hours? I don't know. I'd say I'll get close, but we'll see. So I'll be reading all evening, but also I can maybe play some Hogwarts as well, which is good. Anyway, I'm gonna start my 3 hours. So we're back in my usual filming spot. I don't think I've filmed from here this week yet, but yeah, in front of my bookshelves. I just picked up pachinko and my bookmark fell out, so I don't know where I am. Oh crap. Oh wait, no, okay, I think I'm here. But yeah, guys, we're still on Pachinko. As I predicted, I was like, I think I'll get most of it read, but not totally finished, and that's exactly what happened. I'm probably getting used to my reading pace now. As you're probably noticing, is kind of slow, though this is a chunky book, I do know. So yeah, I did my 3 hours. I did like an hour, then I had my dinner, and then I did like 2 more. I only have about 40-ish pages left of Pachinko, and like last night I was like, will I push through? I decided not to because I really didn't want to rush the ending of this. I really want to enjoy it because this is honestly definitely a 5-star read. It definitely is. So I kind of wanted to savor it. However, I will get this done very, very soon, in the next like half an hour to an hour anyway. I wouldn't mind reading some manga this evening. So I'm in the middle of Tokyo Ghoul and I'm in the middle of Black Butler. So I might move on to the next volumes that I'm on for both of these series. I'm on volume 10 for Tokyo Ghoul and then 4 for Black Butler. It'll kind of depend on the hours that I pick today, so might as well do that now. Do you know what is actually perfect is Leah Crumpton is currently sprinting, and I think she's going to sprint for the evening, so this is just absolutely perfect. I'm planning on reading anyway, so I'm definitely going to join her sprints. So I have her up already because she started at 4 o'clock. Also, 3 hours was nice yesterday. Okay, so again, today was a work day, so I just set it to 5 hours again. Actually, the next 2 days I'm off, so this is the last day of 5 hours max. I haven't got 5 hours yet. 3 was the most I've gotten so far. So I'm just gonna go for it again. There's the 3 from yesterday. Oh, is it gonna be 3 again? 3 again. That's perfect. So yeah, I think I will just finish off Pachinko, then do a little bit of manga reading, and then I'd say 3 hours. Would this be 3 hours worth? I might pick out another book later on, but I'll wait for that. I'll let you guys know when I do. I just finished Pachinko. I don't think a book has made me this emotional in such a long time. Very easy 5 stars, but yeah, heavy stuff. Emotional in a good way. I'm not saying it's like trying to make you sad on purpose, but it's just very human and very good. Just really, really good storytelling. So definitely an easy 5 stars for me. Sunja's last little bit in her chapter was just quite emotional, but yeah, 5 stars. Min Jin Lee. I know I'm gonna think about this book for ages. I cannot wait to watch the Apple TV show. I can't wait to see how they adapt it. But yeah, definitely give me ghouls. Something fantasy that won't make me cry. So it's day 6. It's Saturday for me. I'm off work today, but I was busy this morning. So it's currently 2 p.m. I thought I would just do a little wrap up of what I read yesterday. So as you saw, I finished Pachinko. I was able to like process it a little bit since it was definitely a 5-star book. However, I felt a bit iffy about giving it a 5 because I felt it was so emotional. But I think it's definitely well deserving of that because this is a beautifully written book. It's really, really historical and like really educational too. Like there's things I knew about this time period in East Asia. I knew Japan colonized Korea. I knew about World War II and their involvement, and I knew it was the 1950s when Korea divided into North and South. Obviously, I know this is fictional, but I feel like the author really maybe she heard stories or she talked to people who went through these things. I feel like a lot of these are very realistic, even though it is fictional. I feel like stories like this could be so real, and I feel like the characters felt really real. They felt like real people. I loved the straightforwardness of the writing. It was still beautiful but really straightforward, which I really appreciated. It made everything very clear cut and made everything like nothing was up for debate. I loved the themes in this. There's lots of themes of like women suffering, majorly about racism, majorly about identity, your national identity, poverty and war, and then still struggling when things are good as well. I personally loved that it's not a Christian book in any way. It's just that some of the characters are Christians, Sanja's family are, and it was shown in a really positive light about how comforting and hopeful Christianity can be, and I just really loved that. But yeah, it's a lovely little slice of history. Even though it's fictional, I think it's just historical fiction done to perfection. I would highly recommend this book. It is very emotional, so I think just be ready for it, about suffering in this world. And it made me realise that how just like normal everyday people's lives can be such a beautiful story. Incredible stuff, just really incredible, and highly recommend it. I felt like I learned so much, and I think I'm gonna remember this book forever. I really think it's gonna stay with me, so very good stuff. I then moved on to very different stuff, but I felt like I wanted kind of a quick thing to read, maybe through a different medium, so I did Tokyo Ghoul Volume 10. Tokyo Ghoul is about ghouls who appear human whoever they consume humans. So they're a bit like vampires, a bit like zombies, but they appear human. You've got Ken, who's the main character, who is the first ghoul-human hybrid. Volume 10, I think we're really ramping up to the ending here. Like, I feel like all the characters are kind of like coming together. I've loved all the Tokyo Ghoul volumes, but this one was a good one as well. And then I read a good chunk. I think I'm over halfway of Black Butler Volume 4, and I was a little bit worried about that I would forget stuff. However, Black Butler seems to be a little bit more episodic. Like, each manga is kind of its own story rather than one big continuous story like Tokyo Ghoul is. You've Earl Phantom Hive, and he's this like child prodigy. He kind of works for the crown. He has this butler called Sebastian, and he's this perfect butler. He does everything perfectly, and you've got servants in the manor that are really bad at their jobs. They actually meet an Indian prince in this one who also has a really excellent butler, so there's kind of this funny rivalry happening at the moment. A little bit dated in places, I think, in terms of like there's kind of some sweeping statements made about nations a little bit, but nothing uncomfortable or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm excited to finish this out. I do think I'll pick my next book now. So I have, you can kind of see it, I've got my May TBR, and I'll actually link my video. I did a May TBR video recently, so I'll link that, so I have the books from that. I have a couple of series I'm in the middle of, and then I've got a couple of new releases here. I'll probably pick from those. Do you know what, I kind of think I might go for An Education in Malice. So this is SD Gibson's new release. I think this is set in the same world as A Diary of Blood. I think I want to get to this because actually another book of hers is coming out in May called Evocation, and I wouldn't mind getting to this before that one comes out. So I think that'll be my reading plans for today. I'm not gonna lie, my eyes were closing trying to finish this off. I think the last 20 minutes of my 3 hours was a bit tough. I think I was just kind of tired from the week, and I feel a bit tired today, so I hope I don't get too many hours, but we'll see. But I'll finish off Black Butler, and then I think I'll move on to An Education in Malice. So this is actually a dark academia novel. It's about two academic rivals. I think their poetry teacher is really interested in one of the girls. There's vampires involved apparently. I don't know when it's set, but yeah, I wouldn't mind starting this just so I'm ready then for Evocation when it comes out. Okay, cool, I'm gonna do my hours now. It's kind of fun each day. I think when I do the 24-hour readathons where I use the timer method, you're kind of like, oh well, I'll fit as much reading in today as I possibly can, but I think this is definitely more challenging, even though I've had a few easy days. Like last night I definitely would have stopped like half an hour earlier if I didn't have 3 hours to do that day. Yeah, let's record this again. So in terms of hours, so I think because I'm starting a bit later today, because I was busy this morning and I couldn't read, I am off work and it is earlier, like it's around 2:30 now, so I think I might just put in 7. I think putting in any more than that will be really too much. I think I could easily do 7 and that would take me to bedtime, I think, because I do need to be up early tomorrow. I think I could definitely put in like 10 hours tomorrow, but I think today I might just do 7 hours. Okay, so I think I'll add in 6 and 7. 7 hours is a lot of reading. Let me just record. Okay, I'll go for that. I'm okay with a higher number, to be honest. Oh! That's very little, okay. Okay, 1 hour is nothing. But I think I'll do that now. I think I'll try to finish off Black Butler and then maybe start An Education in Malice. I probably will actually read more than an hour today because I don't really have too many plans now in the evening, but I'm going to do my hour of reading now, I think. again. So it's day 7, the last day. I'm just fresh from the showers. Please excuse the wet hair. So I did my hour yesterday. I actually did a little bit more because I kind of had a relaxing evening. So I finished off volume 4 of Black Butler. This was really entertaining and funny, but also has a serious plot line too. I think the ending of this one was a little bit convoluted for me, a little bit. Just things involving the Indian prince's butler wasn't really very clear. But actually, I think I said yesterday that I said Black Butler is quite episodic. However, I think volume 5 is very much going to follow on the story of this one because the story didn't wrap up. So maybe I'll get my answers in volume 5. But yeah, just fun stuff. Like I do enjoy this manga. And then I did start An Education in Malice by S.D. Gibson. I'm on page 40 now. It's a very quick book, I think. It's honestly font size 20, so I think it reads very, very quickly. And actually I think that's a bit of a gripe I have with it so far. I know I'm only 40 pages in, so I can't really give a full review, but I feel like it's very on the nose right now. Everything's happening very, very quickly. Maybe if this was a longer book and had a bit more build up, I might be enjoying the start of this a bit more. It's okay. It's about Laura. She gets into this university and she gets actually selected to this writing class with this really prolific poetry professor just because of her talent, where usually freshmen aren't allowed in, and she immediately gains an academic rival who she also has a crush on. But everything's kind of happening very quickly. It feels very tropey at the moment. I think she really wants to nail that academic rivals to lovers. I think the dark academia setting, it's a little bit obvious. I don't know, I think I can see S.D. Gibson's notepad wall of what she wanted to include in this book. It's not very subtle yet, so I don't know, but obviously it's a little bit too early for me to say anything yet. So it's dual POV. You have Laura who joins, and then you have Carmilla as well, who is the teacher's pet basically. This is a Carmilla retelling, and I actually know nothing about the original Carmilla, so there is vampires in this as well. So I think I only got a slight hint of that so far. So it's a little bit different to A Diary of Blood because this is first person narrative, so you're in Laura and Carmilla's heads, where Diary of Blood was second person narrative. It was diary entries to Dracula. It's set in the same world as A Diary of Blood, but just bear in mind that the narrative style is different. Okay, I need to spin the wheel for today, and this is the last day. So I think I will do the full 10. I do have time for that today. If it is a higher number, I do have time for it. I know each day has been different. I think it'd be more fun if I had a week off and I could do 10 hours every single day, on the wheel, but just have to be realistic too. There's only so much I can do. I could do 10. It would be a very, very challenging, but I could try, definitely, especially for the last day. So I'm just gonna go for it. I would like a high-ish number because I do have free time today. Oh, no, it's going to be low again. 2. Okay, never mind. 2 hours. Honestly, I'll do that very easy. I actually think I'll probably do more than that today just because it's a day off for me and I don't really have much else on. So I'll do those 2 hours pretty easily today. I'll try to read this straight for 2 hours, no breaks, and see how far I get. So I finished my 2 hours. I got to more or less the halfway point of An Education in Malice, and I have to say I think I'm enjoying it a little bit more now. I think if you've read this book, I'm at the Halloween party. I'm finding the stories kind of coming together and maybe getting just a bit more interesting now. I'm enjoying Laura and Carmilla actually teaming up, and I hope they go against poetry teacher, but we'll see. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's as good as A Diary of Blood, but I think if you liked A Diary of Blood, you'll like this as well. Very similar themes and topics and atmosphere, so it's okay. I think I wasn't crazy about it at the start, getting a bit more interesting now. Obviously I'm only halfway, so I don't want to give a full review. At the moment it's probably sitting at a 3-star for me. I'm enjoying it, but it's not amazing or anything like that. Still pretty good. So that's actually the end of the random number generator, picking how many hours I read for each day. And I did the math and I did 20 hours, so it's actually just a bit shy of a 24-hour readathon, but it was still quite fun each day not knowing how long I was going to read for, so it made it a little bit less predictable. I didn't really get any big challenging day though. The days where I did put in high hours, I didn't really get very high. I think the first day was Monday where I got 8 hours, and that was quite challenging but still really fun. I suppose luck of the draw, I got very low hours each day, but still very much enjoyed my reading. So I got clips of this. I was like sitting in the sun and then all of a sudden it just started thundering and raining. It's been a funny day, so those 2 hours were very broken up between being outside and inside. Yeah, I read very different books for this video. I listened to a little bit of Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I'm nearing part 4 now, which is the last part, so I'm excited to get to it. I feel like it's going to really ramp up and get exciting. But yeah, if you did like the Kingdom of the Wicked series, you're going to like this as well, I think. And of course, as I said, it was 5 stars for me. Definitely very beautifully sad and a bit harrowing to read at times, but just an excellent piece of fiction. I can't remember what page I was on when I started. I think I was like the 100-ish page mark. So I read a good like 400 pages-ish of this book. This did take the majority of the week, not gonna lie. Then did really enjoy just continuing Tokyo Ghoul and Black Butler. Yeah, again, we're kind of gearing up to the end of the story for Tokyo Ghoul in this one. And this one, I would say, actually was probably my least favourite, Black Butler, but it's only the 4th. I'm excited to get on to 5 actually now to see how the story wraps up. I think I just feel unsatisfied because I didn't like finish up a story. So I might have to read the next few volumes to see what happens, I suppose, but still really fun to read. I'm only halfway through An Education of Malice, so can't give a full review yet, of course, but I will definitely talk about it in my next wrap up or in another vlog. But yeah, this was fun. It was quite interesting to see how many hours I got every day. I'd say more stressful than a 24-hour readathon because I didn't know what to expect each day. Days I could do a lot of hours, I actually got very low hours, so it was a funny one. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, I do anything book related on this channel, so reading challenges like this one, TBR videos, reading vlogs, all that stuff. I'll leave all the books I mentioned in the description along with any of my socials. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.